Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. This is going to be part 4 of the Budget 302 build. I have all the pistons cleaned up. They're on the workbench, and I started to pull the rings out, and I measured them. They're 1.5 millimeter top, 1.5 millimeter bottom, and a 4 millimeter oil ring. So I'm going to order rings, but first I need to check the block. I need to check the bores, see how round they are, if there's any like taper to them, and this block is in really good shape. I mean, this whole engine was in good shape. It wasn't full of gunk. There's no ridge up here. It's great. Still got a little bit of crud here and there I got to get off. Like at the bottom of the bores where the piston goes down, stops, comes up. There's some carbon type crud down there. I should be able to clean that off pretty good though. And then on this cylinder, this will be number 5. There's like a little bit of rust way down there, like at the where the bottom ring would stop and come out. That is not going to affect anything. I can probably take some that what you would call it, crud cutter, Scotch Brite, and probably rub that rust out of there. But I'm going to get my dial bore gauges out, or dial bore gauge, and my micrometer. I'm going to measure this block up. I don't know how well this is going to be able to show up on my phone. This is a dial bore gauge, and when you push this bottom little button over here in, it moves the needle. Each division is a 1/2 thousandths. So let's stick it in the bore. Let's see if I can show you this part. And you kind of rock it back and forth like that. Like this. And you watch the gauge. And the furthest point it goes over, you turn this outside dial here and get the 0 to line up. Like, let's just say that's perfect there. Then you go down the bottom of the cylinder, measure it, and see if you can get it back to 0 or close to it. So top of the cylinder comes to 0. Then you turn this thing 90 degrees, and you're probably not going to be able to see the gauge, are you? You just can't do this with, you know, a tripod of me doing this. But I'm seeing a maximum difference of a 1/2 thousandths. Top to bottom, side to side. That's just wonderful. And you can have, like, I think it's a 1.5 thousandths taper. This is doing just fine. And I'm also checking not only this way, I'm checking that way, and then 45 this way and 45 that way, top and bottom of each bore, and perfect. Within a 1/2 thousandths, I'm calling that perfect. It's the garage build. Now I'm comparing the next cylinder. I haven't touched the gauge since I zeroed it out. Looking at the meter, everything looks great there too. And I verified this is a standard bore block. It hasn't been bored over. Somebody really took care of this engine. Yeah. Boy, I'm liking this more and more. Alright, I'm gonna scooch over to the other side of the block. Really can't get my tripod to work the way I want it to. Looking at the gauge. Making note of where it goes. Then you compare it to where it goes in the opposite direction. Like maybe a half a thousandth, if that, difference. This one. Good. Good. Wish there was a way to have my camera like right on this gauge so you can see what I'm seeing. I'm seeing something that makes me very happy. This engine in good shape. I can go order standard rings. Give this a garage home job. So they call it a dingleberry home or dingleball home. I'll be showing that though. Stop one more here to check. And they're all within a half a thousand. Thank you, whoever had this engine. Thank you for taking care of it. Okay. On to the next thing. I have a micrometer. This is a 4 to 5 inch micrometer. I'm putting it in my vise lightly, just enough to hold the micrometer up there. I still haven't moved this bezel. Now I take this device, and this is the tough part. You gotta kind of center it in between the micrometer and then look at that gauge up there and see if it's reading 0. I'm a little bit off, so I'll move that. Okay, so I got it. So that was at 0. Now we're going to read the micrometer, and that's going to tell us the bore. It says 4001 something. And to get to something, there's little numbers that go along. I don't know if I can show you this. Along the barrel here. And I'd have to go up and find out what number runs into a line and lines up. So let me take a peek. Because we're at 401, and then the next digit is going to be, it looks like a 4. Looks like it's lined up. Can you see that? Yeah, well, I think it's 4. So 40014. So that means that block is standard bore block. It's in great shape. Thumbs up, I can use it. Oh, before when I was pointing out that little rust spot down in there, I said that's cylinder 5. Oh, it's not. That's cylinder 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side of the block. I was thinking the engine was flopped around facing the other direction. Now, when you look at these blocks, let's say somebody's got one laying in their garage, and you want to see if it's any good. Of course, you're going to look for rust. You're going to look for big ridges at the top, obvious cracks in the walls. Another place to look for cracks is where the bolts get close to like a water jacket, like in that area there. You want to check all those carefully, because if somebody's been, putting a bunch of nitrous or turbos on their cars and making, 600 horsepower or something on a stock block, they can crack. First, they'll be probably cracking in here. Then, if they start turboing, a stock block's gonna split in half. I mean, it'll break right through here. This one's in great shape. It was a stock engine. It wasn't modified. And I looked it over before I bought it. And I'm happy. I'm even happier now that I've checked it out. So I need to go up to the Dollar Tree tomorrow, if the weather's decent, and get some oven cleaner, take this outside, and power wash it. This is going to be kind of a short part 4 video. Just not much to report today. But I thank you for watching Dan's Messy Garage and my 302 budget build. Part 5, maybe I'll have an update to my what I paid list. Stay tuned. Thank you. Bye.